various opportunities. I have supervision with all my managers and I have meetings and so on. And it's again within their space trying to create an opportunity for learning as an organisation, as individuals. Often the supervision is a two-way process, so I'm asking for how I'm working, how I can influence them and so on. So I end up feeling supervised as much as the supervisee does sometimes, because it's a good opportunity to get that working. We have team meetings, we have management meetings. We've decided as a management team this year that we will look at developing my section as a learning organisation. And we're at very, very early stages on that. But what does that mean for us? How do we involve everybody else? Given that we're inclusion support services, we've got to be looking at how inclusive we are as well. So we range from educational psychologists through to teachers, to admin staff. I want them all included. I want them all valued, because we're all part of the learning organisation. The day-to-day relationships and reactions, my door is always open, people are always popping in, and I've always got time to see them. Much as it can be frustrating for me at times that I need a piece of work here, I've actually got time for them. And we solve problems in that way, and they actually feel supported. I hopefully, and I work on this, I try to model the learning, the fact that I'm here, I'm doing some research, hopefully modelling that to my colleagues. I'm asking them to inquire, I'm trying to get them to build into their time allocation time for research and development. I keep saying that research and development is important for everybody. Coaching people through supervision, etc. And as I said, trying to do that. And for me, it's become a way of being. It is the way I am. Yeah? And I very much see this as sort of Rogerian in its way, that the validations come from my colleagues and feedback about being warm, open, congruent, genuine, etc. So how do we account for that? How do I know these things? And so what we've been trying to do through the cafe and through other mechanisms really is helping people produce evidence about their influence, about what they're doing. And Chris Jones is there, a colleague of mine, hold her up as a shining example of what we're doing, has just completed her Masters through a living theory approach on how she improves her practice as an inclusion officer working in a children's service. I'll just put up a quote from Chris's dissertation there. So we're beginning to see that this approach has influence, that we can actually get out onto the table, put into the public arena the influence that's there and how it's affecting people and how it's improving. So just to round this up, it is for me, the influence is for me around providing a space for people and supporting them to understand themselves. Okay? I intend in that way that they're enabled to function in a way which has greater productivity and improved outcomes. I haven't got any data because I never started collecting, but when I first started working, sickness was high within my teams. Sickness is very, very low now. People come to work, even if they're not feeling on top of things, because they know they're going to be coming into a supportive environment. And sometimes when you don't get that, you'd rather stay under the duvet than you come to work. So again, we're actually producing those sorts of results there. Working as a team means you have to give up some things in order to take on other things. And again, that's quite scary for people. It's about holding them through those experiences and saying, it will be okay. I say that sometimes to people, it will be okay. Yeah? Most of the time I'm trying to do it from a more subtle position. I want to become more self-directing. I want to become more confident about what they're doing. And again, their accounts are saying, yes, this is what you're helping me to be doing. Yeah. So, I've just finish with one little quote here as an example of what somebody has said around my influence. Okay, so this is from somebody who's actually not an academic, who works within my team, very, very important member of my team, and has great influence herself. But when I asked her, so what's been my influence on you? She said, I begin to see and appreciate the sort of man that you were, and I could see only too clearly how strongly and passionately you felt about the vulnerable children out in our schools. Your openness to me only added to my instincts to work hard for you, and when dealing with people in the outside world, it became of paramount importance to me to always portray you in the very best light. I knew then, like I do now, that you trust me implicitly to do my job in supporting you. That is incredibly empowering, and I thrive on that feeling and knowing, and I thank you for that. So you're starting to have some influence on people who will have influence on other people. Thank you very much for listening.
Do we have anybody?